Today we have a great video of the Santa Ana Bowl, the Eddie West Field, the Speedway track around a quarter mile. It was a while ago, and we're going to talk about that. So thank you so much for your subscribing to my channel and watching the videos. It really means a lot. So we're going to talk more about the Speedway at the Santa Ana Bowl. So here we go. Every competitor in a sport needs motivation. I remember Kobe Bryan. He always was motivated by different things, what people said to him. I was motivated by them putting me in D2, and I said I'm never going back there again when I was 17 years old, and I never did. Rumor has it that a young 12-year-old Greg Hancock, future world champion Greg Hancock, went to Santa Ana Bowl with his papa and used to watch the races. And I believe and I heard he used to be a Bumblebee fan, but that's not confirmed. But that's what I heard. People say they saw Greg Hancock in the stands. He liked the long tracks. He won how many world championships? 3 or 4? It was quite a year. My first year at the Santa Ana Bowl, I went from like a D2 rider to like the #1 in points in the D1 class. It was just amazing. I started winning everything, and there was great riders like Wild Bill Cody, Radical Randy Marsh, Denny Pyatt, rest in peace, and the Cowboy John Cook. And many, many more really great D1 riders, and I was able to have a very good season. The Santa Ana Bowl was an AMA track, and at the end of the year they had an AMA World Qualifier, and they asked me if I wanted to be on the cover. I was on the cover of the World Qualifier. That was quite the honor. And the race happened, and I was doing really good. I won a few races and was doing good, and then my bike had a problem. And then I borrowed Ken Maley's bike, the Maley bike. I never rode that thing before. I was the kind of rider that I needed practice on a bike. I had no practice. And I had a race against Mike Bass and Kelly Moran, and I just couldn't ride that thing. Here's a picture of it right here. Despite my bike problems, I was able to end up in 4th place in that meet, the World Qualifier, out of 16 D1 very fast riders. So I was pretty happy, even though I didn't win that meet. It was a 3-night qualifier. The first night was Santa Ana, and the last 2 were up north in Sacramento and Grass Valley. And the Sacramento was at the Fairgrounds, the race there. And I did really good. My first race was against the world famous Mike Bass. And I did really good. I just had the gate on Mike and I won the race. And I was like, you know, I beat Mike Bass. That was pretty amazing. And then after the race, Mike Bass came up to me and said, "Hey Bryan, what do you got in that engine? That thing's fast." And I said, "It's a Jerry Fairchild engine, Mike, and it's fast." And I was just amazed that my childhood hero, Mike Bass, came up to me, called me by my first name and said, "You're fast, dude." So I was very impressed, and I was very humbled actually that Mike Bass, my childhood hero, would talk to me like that. My next race was against the great Bobby Boogaloo Shorts, and I had I think gate 1 or 2, I can't remember, and Bobby was next to me at the starting line in Sacramento. The gate went up and Bobby outgated me, and I just stayed on Bobby's tail the whole time, all 4 laps. I was riding him as close. I was touching Bobby every turn for the 4 laps. And after the 3rd or 4th lap, before the finish line, Bobby budged a little bit and I took the lead and I beat Bobby at the checkered line. And I said, I've never seen anyone push Bobby off the pole before, but I was really lucky. I was scared. I thought I'm gonna crash Bobby every time I went into him. We were so close. I could just see my tire rubbing against his leathers. I was kind of nervous a little bit because I was really, really close to Bobby, but we didn't crash and ended up taking that race. It was great. My trip in Sacramento turned out really great. The first 2 races I won and I was in 1st place. And their track in Northern California, and I was really happy, but things took a turn for the worse. The next race or so, people were taking me out, and I actually got in a horrible crash. Some guy railroaded me from behind, and my hand got stuck in the back wheel. I don't know how it didn't get torn off. I thought I broke it. I was just injured, and I was gonna go to the hospital. It was terrible. So that was pretty much the end of my night. I had a really great night, and then boom, it was over. And then that was the night that Porky McCabe got in that crash also. He hit the Bondo on the track. The night before there was car races and I guess Bondo got put on the track. And he went right through a railroad post, a tie. And he severed his spinal cord and he was handicapped for life. And he died a few years later. That really just bummed me out. Me being in the hospital with a broken arm, possibly, but it wasn't. And Porky having that horrible injury, which destroyed his life. Porky's horrible crash, and then just later, Denny Pyatt crashed in England, and it just kind of ruined things for me. And I decided I should go to college. I realized that maybe I shouldn't be racing, or maybe that was me next. I would die, or that I would have a serious injury and stuck in a wheelchair. So I decided that maybe I should change directions, get an education, and change my life. So that pretty much was the end of my Speedway days. I realized after my injury and watching everyone die and get injured that maybe I should just be careful. But you only have one chance as a young person. I should have went for it and went to England, but who knows how it would have turned out. Well, that's it. Thank you so much for watching the AMA Santa Ana Bowl races and the AMA World Qualifier. It was a great time, great experience, had a great memory, and that led to my demise as a Speedway rider as well. So it had good and bad, and there's some good and bad to racing. It has a beautiful side and it has an ugly side as well. So thank you so much for watching the video and liking this video, subscribing to my channel. We appreciate it so much. It means a lot. So please like, share, subscribe, and ring that bell.